Hi guys, my name's Sebastian from Elements for Life and welcome to One Cue at a Time. Today's cue is in relation to breathing and bracing, very common terminology in the gym and probably something that people neglect. Now I've got Joseph from Elements for Life down on the floor here. What I'm going to quickly do is, I think the little quick I suppose wording for this is breathe, brace and lift. And it flows over into when we're moving heavier loads and heavier resistances. It's very integral that we make sure that our body is braced and is prepared for those extra resistances through our body, just to avoid injuries. And obviously if you want to be proficient at your lifting and hit those PBs and those big weights, you're going to need to learn how to breathe appropriately as well as bracing. So breathe, brace and lift. Now when we're breathing, I think we've all learned how to breathe for the last X amount of years, and we understand it's a very natural response. Breathing is also very is highly responsible for our emotional state, but in the gym, when it comes to strength, breathing creates an internal tension from an internal point of view. When we take a nice deep breath, you're going to create some tension and force from the internal structures of our body. So what we do when we're about to do a big heavy back squat or a deadlift is to breathe into our lower diaphragm. Now it's not always natural. During the day we tend to breathe quite shallow, which is okay. I think everyone can relate to taking a few deep breaths, and it's very good for you. In the gym, when we want to create that brace, we'll take a big deep breath and we're going to learn how to breathe into our lower diaphragm. Now the way we do that is essentially, if you want to practice this skill, what you can do is you get into a position, as I've got Joe here. He's got his feet up on a stool. He's going to put one hand across his chest, I suppose above his belly button. He's going to put another one just on his belly button, and he's going to relax and he's going to practice breathing into his lower diaphragm. And his goal here is to only allow his bottom hand to move. So it's a bit of a neural self-awareness drill, and you'll find it's actually quite relaxing as well, so it's worth doing at home just to become one with your breathing. So learning how to breathe into your lower diaphragm, very, very important. From here, if we're about to do our deep squat or our big heavy deadlift, what we want to do is also squeeze. So we've taken that big deep breath into our lower diaphragm, then we're going to squeeze our external muscle structure, or midline, or abs, or that whole ring of muscles from the external point of view, so tight. We're going to pull that belly button to the spine, and you're going to find that it even comes up under the ribs. That's point number two. The second part of the bracing is squeezing the pelvic floor. I think everyone relates to busting to go to the toilet. I want you to create that sensation in your head. Okay, so we're really trying to hold our wee in as such. We're giving it a really big squeeze. So all at once we're doing our breathing, we're bracing the external, we're bracing the internal, and then we're going to execute the heavy lift. It's not always that easy to create that rhythm at the start. It's going to slow you down. So if you're someone who really likes to get on with it, what you're going to find is that this technique is going to slow your lifting down, but it's worth it. And I think what you'll find is you're going to lift heavier, you're going to have less, you're less likely to get injured, and it's highly relevant to your training. So hopefully that's given you some insight on the breathe, brace and lift, and please tune in to the next video.